Are you ready for the heavyweight championship of the world? Are you ready?
Hey, welcome to Unanimous Corner, bringing you another episode of Unanimous Decision. And today, who we talking to, Bill?
You heard what he said, Unanimous Decision. That's our exclusive interview series. And today, we have a good one. You asked, we have one of the most iconic, one of the most legendary R&B groups of all time. They gave you Lady, they made you dance with that New Jack Swing, Rock Steady. Today, we are bringing you the legendary, the iconic Whispers.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Cool. Hey, guys, welcome to the show. We got some royalty sitting here today. You guys ready to step into the ring?
Oh man, thank you for having us, man. I like that word royalty, man. You make me think I'm bigger than what I am.
Hey,
You are. You guys are big, man.
Be prepared to have your ego stroked today. Bill is about 10 years my senior, and myself, I was born in the 80s, but it seems
this is great.
He's younger.
Yeah,
Hey, Bill, we're gonna be able to teach him a lot. Oh yeah.
I consider myself a student, but I think royalty is a perfect word. When it comes to, I always like to say you guys are kind of you're the R&B artist's favorite artist. Like whenever they used to do top 10 countdowns on BET, it would always put you guys close to the top. That's actually how I discovered you guys, on a genuine count.
Oh wow, that's great, man.
That's just amazing to me.
All right, so what? 1980, man, that was our first big hit when you were born.
Well,
it was 1980. Pushing back a few more years.
79, 80 was when we finished, and the beat goes on, and by February of 80, it was gold, and by June it was double platinum. So if you were born in 1980, that was a good year for you and us.
I was born at 86, but that's
okay.
But
that was a year before Rock Steady.
Yep, that's my joint. So here's the thing. I feel like whatever year I was born, you guys would have had a hit attached to it. So I actually want to read off some stats, if you guys don't mind a little bit.
Okay, all right, go right ahead.
All right, so here it goes. So basically, and my stats may be a little off. Keep in mind, like I'm an 80s baby, so forgive me.
Okay, got you.
When it comes to the Whispers, you guys have been sampled over 310 times, right? And the beat goes on, the song that you guys mentioned, over 72 times, right? Over 162 times you guys have been sampled. So what is it about your sound that attracts generations of artists to it?
Wow, you want to kick it off, Bill? We're gonna get 3 different answers. I'll tell you that.
Hey, Bob.
Well, I think, man, basically we started admiring people that came before us. You know, we were from Watts, California, and the Motown sound in the 80s was in its dominance, you know, so we kind of wanted to be like the Temptations and the Four Tops. You know, we had a stand-up vocal group, and man, we were singing good old stand-up R&B music. And we had no idea, this was in the projects of Watts, California, that 53 years later, we still be here singing R&B music, man. It's just a dream that came true, to be honest with you. And I credit it to singing. I think we were great in choosing R&B music. R&B music has staying power. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could go back to the 50s, to the Mills Brothers before we got here. R&B music was here. And thank God we had enough sense to choose R&B music, because here we are 53 years later, man, and people still sing R&B today.
They sing R&B, but don't forget, you guys have been sampled in a lot of hip hop and rap as well. So it's just, that's just the amazing part.
To be honest with you, man, you know, when I felt like the Whispers were always ahead of their time. You know, when we got to do it and the beat goes on with Leon Silvers, we were amazed. He was already ahead of his times in terms of, but the one thing that keeps music alive is if you have that infectious beat, that, you know, that dope lyric, that dope, what do you call it? It's not only it's the beat more than anything. People gravitate to the beat because we always say there's nothing new in music. It's just thrown into a pot, shift around and moved a little bit, then it comes back with it. And so when you have a song like "And the Beat" or "Rocksteady," you're gonna get sampled. It was that good in the beginning, and like I said, you cannot deny the beat from Rocksteady, and the beat goes on, and that's why you see people like Bruno Mars, who's great in his own world. I mean, going back and
recycling,
capturing old school songs, because you can't get any more of a dope beat than that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So he's going. I can't come up with. I mean, I come up with some bad stuff. But this stuff was still bad today. If I can take it, throw it in the pot and shift it up a little bit, then I can get another smash out of that. And it's great for the writers too, because now they just got paid more money. So, I hope he winds up doing one of our songs. So.
Absolutely. So speaking of say Rocksteady, like you stated, that was in the 80s.
How comfortable were you guys, or how confident were you recording that album or that song, that record, when it, I guess it was the precursor, or lack of a better word, to New Jack Swing?
Oh, New Jack Swing. Got you.
Yeah, that, you know, you guys moved into that New Jack Swing era, and Rocksteady is that. I mean, that's a happy hour, backyard barbecue, whatever you want to call it. That is that's a smash.
Well, Scott, I know you got something to say, but Rocksteady came as a result of LA and Babyface trying to duplicate Leon Silver's with "And the Beat Goes On." That's really what happened, to be honest with you. And like Lavelle said, the music evolves. And, you know, take Kashif. Kashif was basically Leon Silver's his sound. And that's the beautiful thing about music, man. You know, you take the younger people come with fresh, exciting ideas, man, and they light up, like Lavelle said, to what has been done before them, and they make it a little more dope. You know, the beat is much more pronounced, you know, and we benefited from that. You know, we had no idea in 1980 that 7 years later, Rocksteady, in an attempt to be like what was done in 1980, would become a double platinum song.
Yeah. The beat literally went on.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank God.
That's crazy. Like, I'm sorry, Barry, because you guys were working with the Babyface, and
that's how we met them in Atlanta.
So that younger guys coming and giving you a sound, like, were you confident in him that he was going to give you that?
Yeah, you know what?
You got to tell the story, Scott.
I got to tell you the
story.
story.
Let's get that story
for a second. LA Reid and Kenny Edmonds, as we knew him, this is before there was a Babyface and all that.
Okay.
We were in the studio with them doing another song, it was a ballad. I think we had been in the mood. But Lavelle was the one that said, man, listen, if you guys have anything up, what we're really looking for, we need another "And the Beat Goes On." Because "And the Beat" went just through the roof. And of course, you guys went around it, but record companies, when you had one like that, they always wanted to try to duplicate it because, you know, we need another one of those. So Lavelle said to Kenny, he said, man, listen, if you got anything that even comes close to "And the Beat," you know, bring it. So what Kenny said to him, which stunned all of us, he said, well, I tell you what, when I come back tomorrow, I'll have one. So Lavelle said, you know, we figured this the young guys, you know, not doing what it, you know, like what he didn't understand, hit records, they don't come every other day. You know, like you guys may be too young to remember "Respect" by Aretha. These kind of records, you notice there's only one of them. There ain't no whole lot, ain't no two Respects. You know, ain't no two Michael Jackson. There's only one.
Yes.
So when he said he would come back tomorrow with one, we said, "Oh, great, that's gonna be with." Lavelle said, "Oh, yeah, he don't know. He's just talking, right? He'll be back." Unbeknownst to us, when we got back to the studio the next day, they played "Rocksteady," which stunned us. You know, this just blew us away because we knew immediately that was the precursor to "And the Beat Goes On." But what we're saying, wait a minute, he said he was going to come back. Well, how the hell did he do it? So he listened to, this was his version of Rocksteady.
He's released it since then. Yeah.
Like you just said, like my brother, younger people come along and they hear a little different than what you heard, and they take it to the next level. That's exactly what he did.
Yeah. That's
So,
exactly right.
I mean, and we wasn't doing bad even. I mean, from 1980, man, to 88, 87, 88, everything we had was either gold or platinum. So now before that, you know, we couldn't even get our clothes out the cleaners. Before 1979, we was liking it, but we was doing all right, but we hadn't got there yet. We had Olivia, we had
Song for Donnie.
yeah, all these songs, which was getting close, but when the beat hit in Rocksteady, it
was
changed.
over.
It was over. It changed our lives completely.
Wow,
And
that's crazy.
I kind of want to pick Lavelle's brain a little bit because I know a lot of people don't pay a lot of homage to. I don't feel it gets the proper amount of respect, which is the solar sound. I mean, the sound of LA.
Yeah, you're right.
To me, that's the precursor to New Jack Swing, in my opinion.
Absolutely right.
So what was it? I mean, because it looks like you guys it was like a fraternity, like where your label mates, the deal, you guys would collaborate with each other.
Oh man,
what was it? What did you hear or saw from them, Lavelle, to even give them that challenge? Like, were they showing you like some kind of hints that they would eventually go on to greatness? Because you at least challenged them to say, you guys got anything close to the beat goes on. Like, what did you see in Babyface in LA?
It's funny, man. I would love to take that credit, but I'm not gonna lie. That was a brainchild of Mr. Dick Griffey.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Dick Griffey, despite his gruffness and looking like he could be in the NFL, he had an ear for music, and he knew once he put Solar together, he knew that what he wanted to do, and he basically, like everything else, we steal from something else, but we try to make it better. He looked at how the Motown era was formed, where that artists with other artists, Smokey wrote for a lot of artists, wrote for the Temptations, wrote for a lot of different artists that were on the label. So Dick Griffey would go out and seek his artists, but in seeking that particular artists, he found in them that they had writers in there, like a Leon Silvers. When he had the deal, he had the Babyface and LA Reid in there. So he was the catalyst to taking those guys and giving those guys a platform. And what better platform was his own artists. So we became basically not necessarily guinea pigs of them, but when you hear music, when you hear hit songs, you hear hit songs. Yeah. And so when we met Babyface when he brought Babyface to the label. We actually went over to Babyface's house, and Babyface had a 4-track setup in his house, and he started playing tracks for us, and we're like, oh my God, this guy's got, because we've heard some bad music too, and we've had to say, yeah, that was nice, but never wanted to do the song. But when you hear smashes like Babyface, Leon Silver's Road, you automatically know what it's about. So we basically had a lot of respect, because that wasn't really our forte. Nicholas was the only one in the group that really did the writing, with his lady and Say Yes, Do They Turn You On, and all those kind of things. None of us knew anything, but we knew we had it. And when we heard it, we knew it was a smash. When we heard Rocksteady, when we heard And the Beat, when we heard In the Mood, we knew that those songs. Yeah.
So, can I interject this, brother?
Okay, good. Yes, sir. Mr. Scott.
You mentioned Solar Walter. You mentioned Solar being like a fraternity, man. Dick's greatest quality was this. He was older than the rest of the people there, but he didn't require you to pay homage to him as an older guy. He let young people flourish. You know what I'm saying? He didn't come in saying, I'm Dick Griffey. You got to do it like. He let Face and LA and Leon and all these people came to Solar. And what Dick's greatest talent was having them have the freedom to do whatever they wanted to do, man. And that happens. That's how music gets to be where it is today. Yeah. Some people say, man, you won six Grammys, so I got to be, kind of quiet when I'm around you. Young people don't have that, man. They too young to understand it. They got creativity inside of them. And if you let it come out, you can't do anything but be a success. Yeah. And that's what Dick did that was so well, man.
But he had an A&R here that was unbelievable.
Oh, no question.
Material to him, he's like, man, I got so many smashes. I gotta wind up. I got to have a distributing system because I can't let the Whispers take them all or Shalimar take them all. He says, I want to get hits on all my artists. That's how I'm a great company. So we got, out of all the people, like I said, he had an incredible ear. But like Walt said, he allowed them to go in a playroom, have a beautiful studio, go in there and just write songs and do whatever they want. And then you bring them back to the crowd like a child saying, look what I've done now. And he never sent them back saying, well, that wasn't, but he always applauded them. And man, look what they came up with.
You remember the group? Do you guys remember the group Midnight Star?
Of course.
Yeah.
No parking on the dance floor.
Okay. Camping on the
jam.
Midnight Star literally wrote a song, Wet My Whistle, for the Whispers. They came to us and said, man, we got a smash for y'all. They were excited about us doing it. Dick heard it and said, no, you can't have that. Y'all got enough hits. They gonna do that on them. But like Lavelle said, as much as that upset us at the time, what we learned from that is how great Dick's ear was.
Yeah.
He understood the importance. It wasn't about taking from the Whispers or giving it. It was that, hey, and at the time we had two smash, he was right. Now we didn't like it when he took, we loved that song, we were looking forward to doing it. But to his credit, like Lavelle said, he was trying to build his company so everybody could. Hey, you got Lakeside, you got Climax, you got Shalimar. All these people had hit records based on what he heard.
So Midnight Star and Babyface and LA Reid, you guys worked with some producers and great writers. Were there anybody that you wanted to work with that you didn't get a chance to? Writers, sing. Okay, all right.
And you're gonna blow over. The one writer that we dreamed that we could work with and never got the opportunity, he's in jail today.
Right.
R. Kelly.
You're not the only one that said
you are not the only person that has said that.
Right.
Boy, let me tell you, we wanted to work with him so bad. I mean, now what he did, I ain't getting into that.
Yep.
But his artistry and his talent could not be denied.
Yeah.
And he was in Chicago. We got an opportunity to meet him one time, but we've always wanted to work with him and never got the opportunity. And to this day, we still hope that we get to work with R. Kelly.
What did you see? Like, what was it that you?
It was raw creativity, man. When you hear his writing and his lyrics and his tracks, you know that this brother was gifted, man. He just had it. You know what I'm saying? He just had that thing.
As an artist, another guest told us as an artist, like some of the stuff that he writes with his pen.
When I heard I Can Fly, that's like Marvin Gaye, man, with what's going on. Some of those things are so undeniable, you can't deny them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Trust me, you're not the only one who said that. We've had at least 2 or 3 others who distinctly said, Mr. Kelly, Mr. Kelly.
And not just and not to sleep on the producers and writers that you guys have worked on in the past. I want to mention some names. I'm leaving people out, obviously, but I got Ralph Johnson. I wrote some down. Ronnie Baker, obviously Babyface and LA Reid, Bernie Sigler, Alan Fedler. You got Melvin Ragan. You got Leon Silvers. I'm glad you guys gave credit to Leon Silvers III. I'm leaving out some names, but you guys have crossed paths with a lot of impactful writers and producers across your career. So when it comes to the session, and I remember one of you guys saying earlier that you knew you had a smash when it came to And the Beat Goes On and Rock Steady. Was there ever a case where there was something that you wasn't really too sure about, but then it actually surprised you on the charts?
Yeah, Hey Scotty. There's a story about Hey Scotty that we were doing, Leon Silvers producing. And when he came in that night and said, Scotty, I want you to say, hey, Scotty, what that mean? That I blah, blah, blah. And Scotty said, if you think I'm singing that, you got to be out of your mind. He walked out the studio. And Caldwell said, Scotty, we followed Scotty out. Scotty was adamant. He said, I'm not saying that. We went outside and talked Scotty into singing Hey, Scotty. And y'all know the rest is history, but that's one of the biggest songs that we ever had. Leon Silvers, like most good producers, he knew what he was going to do long before it was finished.
Yeah.
So you had to let him get to his end. You understand what I'm saying? And hey, Scotty, hey, that was one of them. Yeah.
That's amazing.
So kind of swing it around a little bit because I saw one of your other interviews and I want you guys to touch on this here. Soul Train, right. Don Cornelius. Where would Black music, where would our R&B music, our soul music be today if there was no Don Cornelius and Soul Train?
Scotty, I know you, Scotty gonna talk for this.
It's real simple. And it's not an exaggeration what I'm getting ready to say. I actually feel there would be no Black music without Don Cornelius. Okay. When we first met Don Cornelius in Chicago, before he ever came to Los Angeles, he was doing the Soul Train show in Chicago in a little small building. But Don Cornelius brought Black America to white America. There's no question about it. You know, before him, I mean, you couldn't even get on television. You know, you couldn't go down and get a job to sweep the building where the television shit was at.
Yeah, no, American Bandstand. I mean, if you weren't Michael Jackson, you can't get on American Bandstand. No. Don Cornelius brought you Black acts. You saw them in their infancy, and then later, 10 years later, you saw them when they were megastars. He developed them. That's what he did for Black music, and he does not get. I'm so brother. Thank you for asking, man, because we all know he never got the credit, and still to this day,
didn't get the credit.
Does not get the credit for what he did for Black music, man.
Yeah, and the crazy part about it is we had a mega hit, and we only did American Bandstand one time. So the second time around, you had to have a ridiculous hit, and then even then, there were so many people ahead of you, like Walt said, the Jacksons, the Janet Jacksons, they would get it with no problem. But no matter what kind of record you had, even if we had a marginal hit, Don Cornelius said, "The Whispers, you're coming on the show." We were if you probably know the record too, if you look at it, we were on Soul Train more than any R&B artist in the history.
I didn't know that.
That's true.
Yeah,
we've got more appearances than any artist has ever been on that show.
And the reason why we know that came from the mouth of Don Cornelius.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's the one that, because we didn't know it either until he told us. And when he said it to me, I said, "Wow, I had no idea."
Best buddy sitting right there beside with the black hat. Don Cornelius really had a thing. Him and Scotty had a thing, and so we never had a problem debuting any kind of material that we had, and it's a lot because of their friendship as well. But we didn't care how it came, as long as we was on the show.
Yeah, nothing wrong with some special treatment.
And what's cool about that is, we had Troop, R&B group Troop on here, and John from there, and he stated Troop had the most visits on the Arsenio Hall show.
Yes, they did.
They did.
So
Arsenio loved them.
Yeah.
So when you guys, and so it seems like the showcase of acts, especially when they love you, you get so much more exposure, and it shows the appreciation of how great your music is.
Right.
Well, let me tell you what happens in Black music that happened to Don Cornelius. And I mean, I hate to say this in a derogatory way, but it's just true. Some of the acts got so big that they felt that it was beneath them to go back on Soul Train.
Yeah.
How wrong is that? Absolutely. Don Cornelius, Scotty is his best friend, and he told him, he said, "Man, some acts, one act in particular said, I'll come on, but you have to come interview me at home. I don't want to come on the show." And Don did it because he knew he had to do that. He was trying to advance Black music to where it had never been before. But that's what happens in our music industry, man, when we don't look out for each other. That's why I'm saying he never gets the credit that he actually deserves. And we in the Black community, we all know. But the white community needs to know about Don Cornelius, man, because he spearheaded Black music as nobody did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the landscape of R&B would look extremely different if he wasn't able to kind of promote them to mainstream.
No question.
Some of my favorite acts I discovered Tevin Campbell on Soul Train. So
right,
absolutely.
So speaking of Soul Train, I know you guys been in the game for more than 50 years. So you actually received the Lifetime Achievement Awards for 50 years of excellence on the Soul Train cruise. But I actually want to point out some more recognition when it comes to you guys. So you were inducted into the official R&B Hall of Fame in 2014.
Yes.
And even recently, you guys received the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. So number one, how do these awards make you feel? And number two, how do you guys set your goals at this point in your career?
Yeah, well, you got a lot of mouthful there.
I'm
gonna take all the credit we can get. We also received an honorary doctorate too. So, just call me Dr. Lavelle, Dr. Scott, those guys.
The doctors.
Okay,
doctors. The
Yeah.
doctors.
Yes. It's
But
amazing.
we're always humbled by any award that we receive. But one thing that Scotty always says, and I'm actually embracing it now, I'm just glad that I was able to receive it in person instead of somebody else getting it from my daughter going to get it or my wife going to get it.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
That we're still here to be able to see those things. A lot of artists don't get these things until they're long and gone. And so it means a lot to get these things while we're alive, and anything else that's going to come our way. We are just so humble and appreciative of any award, because like you said, if you do anything for 54, 55 years,
got to be celebrated.
you
must be doing something right.
Yeah.
Gotta be doing something right.
And here's the other thing. I mean, a good example is you two brothers. You guys, regardless, you call us royalty and all that, but the truth of the matter is, the fact that you've given us your platform right here now, as old as we are, you guys wasn't even in the world when we started. And the fact that you've given us your platform, that helps keep us. I mean, we're still putting along here based on guys like yourselves. And we can't tell you how much we appreciate it. We don't take it for granted. We hear the word royalty, my daughter tells me that all the time. If I had to spell it, I'd be in trouble. But we appreciate it, man. We don't take it for granted.
Well, the other thing we add to that is that we were nominated in 1987 for a Grammy, and we appreciated that. Right. But when we went to Atlanta a few weeks ago, and as you just said, there's nothing like being honored by your people, the people that have been with us when we weren't nothing. You know what I'm saying? So when they give you an honor and tell you that they appreciate you, man, let me tell you, there's nothing like that. You can't beat it.
The funny part about it is that we're sitting there actually in awe of other people. Kevin Campbell in person, or those kind of people, because I never actually ever met Kevin Campbell. So I was like, I'm excited about him, and they're coming looking at us like, how are you so excited to see us? It's just funny how artists wind looking at you and you don't look at yourself that same way. That's why I love the fact that the listeners have remained humble all these years. So we're amazed at how people feel about us. Even people like what you're doing right now. We're just amazed.
That's what I'm saying. It's amazing.
Oh no, we can't talk about it enough.
It's more funny to us because every each interview that we do, we just I'm starstruck.
Yeah.
It's because from our side, I grew up listening to you guys. I grew up listening to the people we're interviewing. I remember where I was when I heard a particular song.
Yeah,
so to have you guys sitting on the screen, having dialogue, and we're going back and forth, conversing, I'm still trying to, I'm smiling a lot, but I'm trying to, really hold a lot in because this is the whispers here.
I'm hiding my hands because it's like, my palms are a little sweaty. But
we're starstruck. So as much as you guys say thank you to us, it's back onto you guys tenfold.
And
you
guys easily could have said,
nah. The thing I appreciate about you guys is that you guys, a lot of Black people, and I'm just being honest, they forget about their heritage. They forget about things that they have accomplished in life. You know what I'm saying? So it's always moving on to the next fast food thing, whatever it is, the next artist. But when people like yourself get involved as young as you are and tell them, did you know about Nat King Cole? Did you know about Ella Fitzgerald? Did you know about Pravon? People that actually paved the way for even us.
Absolutely. To make it possible. Yeah.
Possible. you keep that alive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
You know,
right. Don't,
I mean,
As much as I would like to take credit for that, I would say a lot of that is the groundwork that you guys have laid. So I know that you guys talked about it earlier in the interview, that music is recycled to a degree. And if it's good, it finds its ways to people's ear. And
No
I think
question.
this past Sunday we had family night. Rocksteady is a karaoke favorite. And I got my 4 little kids, and they're being introduced
Oh
to
man.
music.
Oh wow, that's so great.
Wow.
And honestly, if even if I tried to escape your sound, I can't. You guys have had Billboard singles in '69, throughout the '70s, throughout the '80s, throughout the '90s. That's 4 decades of greatness and ticking, right?
yeah.
That's
So
what, man.
what's and I know you guys keep kind of poo-pooing this question. So like, I think I think there has to be a secret. How do you guys remain current? Like there has to be some formula you guys have figured out throughout the years. How do you guys remain current?
That's a good question.
It is a good question. Absolutely.
I can think of a few words. I mean, one would be desperation. I don't, but I think the biggest thing that we've done is we learned years ago, we would always say, be what you are, not what you ain't. What that means is don't try to be something that you're not. We learned years ago that your audience can see it better than you. You know, like we listen, we're older guys, we're still here, we're proud of the fact. We're not ashamed of the fact that we've been around for 50 years. We're proud of the fact.
Proud, absolutely.
So of it. It's nothing to be like James Brown finally had to tell Black people, don't get mad because somebody call you Black. Be proud that they call you Black. It's the same way with your career. So we keep it simple, stupid. We do R&B music. We're not trying to do something we know we can't do. We always love to put my first love in. We always squeeze in a little bebop because that's my heart. That's where I come from. But other than that, the success that we've had has been because of Black people have listened to us for over a period of years.
And I think back on top, guys, and I think also when you're humble, you know, when you have humility about yourself, you know, a lot of they get older, they're like, man, you know, this kid just got in the music business yesterday, and he coming here with a song. He don't know about writing no music, you know. Do it. And their mind is not open. But we always felt like a baby could write a song, and if it's a smash,
absolutely
do it. So you have to be humble and not think about, okay, I got 50 years in the business, so I'm not listening to nothing because, you know, I'm a steward of all music, or you know, have my PhD in music. No, it's not that way. You know, these kids that are coming along today, like the Bruno Mars, that are just writing smash after smash. If he came to our door and knocked on our door and said, "Whispers, we got a smash for you," we're not gonna let him, man. You only been in the business about a week or two. What we don't do that.
You'd be the most stupid.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what, man?
And good thing you brought up Bruno Mars, because what a question I have is, how can we bridge that gap between the R&B of the past to what is R&B today?
It means getting together. In fact, our drummer is very close to the people that deal with Bruno, and we're hoping to do something with him, you know, because the young people today, this is the one area where they're different from us. Their immaturity leads them to not have the insight to go forward to work with someone older than them. They have to understand youth, and I know how it is because when we were young, we felt the same way. Man, there's nothing wrong with combining talents, years of experience with youthful energy of today. Man, that's an unbeatable combination, you know, and you got to be not afraid to go there.
We just saw Beyonce and Ron Isley just redo.
That's what I'm talking about.
Again, girl.
Yeah, that's what Beyonce, because she's a leader, can lead other young people to do that, man, because that's what has to happen.
Yeah. Alicia did it with the Moments. Rick James did it with the Temptations. I mean, so that, and when you hear those songs, you bridge that gap, and so that's what should be going on now, and that's why every time we do an interview, because we admire what Bruno does. He's an incredible incredible performer, singer, you know, so we would love to bridge that gap with him. If, you know, so we're not gonna be like, oh no, we're gonna be like, okay, we'll meet. That's what's
well, we'll do whatever we can to
get that.
Yeah,
we want it to happen.
I want to keep my fingers crossed for that one. Just on paper, that sounds like a magical formula. And so,
you know what? I wanted to bring this up before we close this. We're in the process of re-recording our catalog. We want you and your audience to know that. You know, a lot of artists are doing that now. You know, it finally got to a point to where you can re-record and you have the ownership of your master. Yeah. And so that's what we're in the process of doing, and it's really working out well. We've started, but we're gonna be recording for a long time because we got a lot of
hits.
We
got a lot of ground to cover.
Record each
sir.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, the message to that, if there's any Black corporations in particular out there looking to do business with us on our material, we would certainly appreciate if you give us the opportunity, because we know that there's other places you can go and get music. I'm just gonna say it straight up. Well, no, even other companies that have basically stolen, I hate to say it, but stolen our music. We'd rather you come deal with us as
go to the artists.
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying? So that's what time it really is.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
And actually, you guys have kind of like, I guess, jumped the gun, which is great, on telling people what to expect from you guys. Adding that into the mix, which is we look forward to the music, the re-recorded catalog.
Yeah.
What else can we expect from the Whispers?
Well, we're always looking for new material, you know, but we haven't had the material that we think that would go out there and do us justice. So it's about anything else. We haven't heard that smash yet, but once we do, you know, we're definitely game to doing new music, because I think along with doing the old catalog, that's great. But to keep you in the eyes and maybe gain some of these young bucks like yourself, we're gonna need that too. We're gonna need that new flavor too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we want to capture that side of the audience as well.
And that's refreshing to hear, like, for you guys to be, even now, to be selective in the process. No, you're fine.
You're good.
And then also, what is a great way for folks that actually want to hear more of your story and just keep up with you guys on a weekly basis? What's a great way to keep up with you guys? You guys got any social media links out there we should check out?
Well, you can go to whispers.com, of course. You know, you can go also, we have the Mighty Whispers as well. You can go to that platform as well. And, you know, and hit us up anytime. We love to hear from people. I'm on social media every day. You know, in fact, I was just looking at my brothers just now on social media talking about how people, we were talking about in our fan club gets mad at one another because they don't feel like they're doing as much as they should be doing. They're like, hey, you guys got to post the Whispers more often, because do it all by myself. So I was just looking at that just a little while ago. But yeah, I mean, you know, anything, and even I go on it all the time. So if somebody's on there and they have a question, and I'm just, to be honest with you, I'm on there every day looking at something. That's all I can do with this right now. I can only keep up through that method right now. But you know, please hit us up. You know, and if I can,
we're on all the platforms, Spotify, Apple. I mean, our music is everywhere. Yeah.
We're going to make sure they support you guys as well. I got your links up on the screen, guys. We're going to check you guys out. But Bill, I would say, I mean, this probably has been my my favorite interview so far. Like this is, so I'm a little starstruck, but I want to hear from the fans as well. Who else is somebody that we should interview? How do we find that out, Bill?
Go to your comment section. You guys know we call it My 2 Cents. Leave your 2 cents and let us know. Hey, if you have any questions for
Whispers,
iconic group, the Whispers, leave your comments or send it to us and we'll get it to them, or they'll go on to our YouTube and find it. But again, go to the comment section and leave your 2 cents.
Cool.
And guys, Scotty said this earlier, but let me reemphasize this, man. We can't thank you guys. We don't want you to think that we take this for granted. You guys giving us your platform today, allowing us to talk about our career. Hey, man, it means everything, brother. You know, in today's economy where everything is tight, You guys have taken your time to be with us, man, and we appreciate it. We don't take it for granted, brothers.
We appreciate you guys.
We appreciate
I
that, sir.
you for joining.
Thank you so much.
We're gonna have a brief conversation before you guys get to your next interview. And then, hey, follow our links on the screen, guys. Make sure to support. Outside of that, that's all we got. Everybody say peace.
Peace. Love you, brothers, man.
Yes,
All right.
sir.